Yeah, that was the thing. We just kept. It's like, well, what am I supposed to do here? Well, you don't want to get too many demerits, but you got to go chase all these different violators down. But you still got to remember where the police station is, so you can get back there before your day shift runs out. But on top of that, there's these criminals that are really bad guys that you want to search after and find. Then you want to bring them back, and you want to then interrogate them with a confesso reader, and it's like, it goes on and on and on. And every new day, there's yet another quota. Because that was the whole thing. Okay, first day is really easy. It's just a couple that we had cabs that would go around honking. So it's like they're annoying. It's like we had little great pictures of a litter bug, a pink convertible car. This girl was kind of half in and half out the car, kicking her legs. The guy was tossing cans. And it's like, okay, we got to find somebody of those. And you have little vans with smoke coming out the top. It's like they created like every kind of humorous, but violation that you could come up with. And then I would sit there and I'd create these tables to determine how many of a certain element was required for the quota of the day. And then on top of all that, just the layout of the entire playfields themselves, there was tons and tons of Easter eggs, hidden things. You could drive behind all the buildings and get completely off of the road, pick up bags of money. It's like, as I think about it, it's like, what a mess. It's just like, when you develop something and you have a bunch of really creative people, that's just way too much time. It's too much time to work on, because what you end up with is you end up with all these really neat elements. There was donut shops. That was obviously they used my voice as better. It's time to get a donut. Could use a donut. There was big things along the road, kind of like donut stands, where these big shovel things would come out, and you to time it right and collect all these donuts. And there was there was every aspect of attributing your car. There was shops that you drive in and trade your money in for way too many different kinds of attributes for your car. There was gas. You only had so much gas. That was another element in the game that you remember. There was gas stations that you'd pull into, and there was ways to get quick gas, and there's ways
It'd be neat to get like 10 designers loose with that same tool and see what games came out of it.
It was like it was trying to be realistic, but at the same time, I mean, the driving model was too much. It was kind of like a sprint. You could whip the wheel and you could drive all around. And
didn't you mainly go up?
You could go up, sideways. You could go down.
3 years of depth. 3 years of depth was in the game. And Mike came in at the last 6 months to draw it all together and get it on the production line. And
the one thing I do remember about the end of the project was it's great to be at the end. The distributor show they had was held at Hilton Head Island. I'd never been to the East Coast. I was like, wow, this water's warm. We set the game up. We had all these distributors there. I remember we sold 2,000 units that weekend, and that was it. It's like, okay. It's like, I've never been involved in a game where we sold. People wanted it for some reason, but once they got it, they realized, I guess it wasn't quite what everybody who had come through the labs and they'd seen it was like, wow, look at all this stuff.
It looked nice.
Yeah, and it looked fun.
It looked fun.
But it was like, I think what we realize now, there was not enough holding it together. There was too much freedom. There was too many elements, and it got a lot of laughs, but it wasn't the kind of game in the coin-op market that you'd say was a huge hit. But it was one of the better weekend sales that Atari had.